Hi, second graders. Today for Read Aloud, we're going to continue in our Hey New Kid book. And today we're going to read chapter 2. Now, in chapter 1, we learned that the character in the book's name is Cody, and we learned that he's new at his school. And at the end of chapter 1, it said one super deluxe new kid coming up. So let's go ahead and start with chapter 2 and learn a little bit more about our character, Cody. Chapter two's title is The Little Dork That Couldn't. This is our new student, Cody Michaels. Cody was standing in front of his new class with his new teacher, Ms. Harvey. A classroom full of strangers looked back. His heart was beating fast, faster, he was sure, than it ever had before. He imagined again that he was a prisoner. 20 pairs of eyes were fixed on him like the guns of a firing squad. The girl with the purple t-shirt, he noticed, sat in the front row. "Tell us something about yourself, Cody," Miss Harvey said. "Where are you from?" He rubbed his hands together to stop them from shaking. So that means he must be nervous. Topeka sounded so boring. It was time to create the new Cody. "Alaska," he said instead. "We lived in an igloo." "My," his teacher said. The 20 pairs of eyes widened. Now he had their attention. He felt a ripple of excitement, like the kind he felt when he made a goal at soccer. They believed him. He took a deep breath, tucked his hands down into his pockets, and continued. "And I'm smart, super smart. In fact, I'm a genius." He stood up even taller. Everything was going great. "As a baby, my first word was encyclopedia." Harvey blinked. "Well, tell us about your family." He thought for a second. His family was boring too, but not for long. "My dad works for the FBI. He's a secret agent." "Oh," Miss Harvey said. "And my mom drives a red Jag." That's an expensive car. So he's trying to explain to them, look, my mom's in this really cool, expensive car. Okay, so a red Jag. It's short for Jaguar. "Cool," said a boy in the back. Being Super Cody was terrific. He was in control. He could have anything and everything. He could be anything. "It has black leather seats," he added, "and a fax machine." Now, a fax machine is similar to like a scanner, but some places still have them. You put a piece of paper in and it scans the paper and it sends it to another fax machine. And so the people on the other end get it and it prints it out for them. So it's similar to a scanner, but it's done like it scans an actual piece of paper. So he's saying that this fax machine is actually in the car. Fax machines aren't usually found in cars, but that's what Cody's telling his classmates, okay? All right. "Well," said Miss Harvey. She paused, and then she asked, "Do you have any pets?" "Just Pal," Cody answered, and then he remembered that he was Super Cody now. "And what is Pal?" she asked. Cody thought hard. "Pal couldn't be just a dog. Everyone has a dog." "He's an emu," someone gasped. Cody wondered, what is an emu? "Well," Miss Harvey said, "I think that's enough for now." "It is?" Cody asked. He was just getting started. "I could tell you about my house and my room." He was thinking about inventing a swimming pool and a ping pong table. "Maybe later," Miss Harvey said, and she led him to a seat right behind the freckled girl in the purple t-shirt. "Welcome. Have a seat here behind Holly." So Cody sat at his new desk and he looked around his new class. His heart was not pounding quite so hard now, and his hands had stopped shaking. "Hey, new kid," the boy behind him whispered. "My name's Cody," he whispered back. "Can you bring your emu to school tomorrow?" "Oh, no," Cody answered. "He's really shy." "No talking, Chip." Miss Harvey looked in their direction. "We start the day with science. She handed Cody a science book. It was the same one that he had used at his old school. We're starting a new unit today, she said. Chapter 12, Plants. Oh, 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 Cody, that is Super Cody, waved his hand in the air. Yes, Miss Harvey asked. I just want to let you know, he said, that I am an expert on plants. We just finished this unit at my old school. Oh, thank you, Cody, she said. Thanks for sharing that. I mean, if you need any help, I'll keep that in mind, Miss Harvey said. Cody opened his book to chapter 12. The pictures of the leaves and the flowers were comforting. When they had finished chapter 12, Miss Harvey showed them a stack of paper, cups, and a bag of potting soil. We're going to plant some seeds today, she said. Oh, oh, oh! Cody waved his hand again, but this time Miss Harvey did not seem to see him. Row by row, the kids went to the table in the back of the room to plant their seeds. Cody kept waving his hand for Miss Harvey to call on him, but she didn't notice. Finally, it was his turn. He walked back to the table with the kids in his row. Chip passed out the cups. They scooped dirt into the cups from the bag of soil. Hey, new kid, Chip said. Here's your seed. Cody pressed his seed into the dirt in his cup. It gave him a hopeful feeling to plant the seed. He carefully patted the dark, moist soil over it. Hey, Holly, Chip said. Holly was patting down the soil on top of her seed. Yes, she asked. What are you going to get for your birthday? Chip asked. Rollerblades, she answered. Cool. I can skate backwards, Chip said. Holly's eyes were a wonderful greenish color. Super Cody spoke up. I'm probably the best skater in the whole school, Cody said. Maybe even the world. And here's a picture. So you can see Chip is in the back, Cody's in the middle, and that's Holly standing up, and they're just all planting their seeds. Holly's green eyes got really wide. The way she looked at him made him feel great. He was sorry for a second that he couldn't really even skate. I've won a lot of skating trophies, he added. Dozens of them. Wow, Holly said. I can give you skating lessons, Cody said. Let's get finished up, Miss Harvey said, and get to our seats. Cody smoothed out the black soil on the top of his cup. He put the cup on the windowsill with all the others. It's time for math, Miss Harvey said. Cody got out one of his new pencils. He took out his new pencil sharpener and began to twist the pencil in the sharpener. He was good at math. He thought about raising his hand to tell Miss Harvey just how good he was at math. Multiplication. Cody stopped. He stopped sharpening his pencil. He wasn't going to need it after all. They hadn't done times tables at his old school. Miss Harvey handed out the sheets of problems, and Cody looked at all the problems, and he glanced around the room. All the other kids were writing. They were filling in the answers. Cody began to write down random numbers. 122, 45, 600. He wrote anything just to look like he knew the answers. They finished the test and began to pass their papers to the front of the room. Cody passed his paper up. The new deluxe Cody was getting complicated. So think about it. For this math assignment, it was something he didn't know how to do. He never learned it. The kids in his new class have already learned it. So instead of raising his hand and saying, Miss Harvey, I never learned this before, he just wrote random numbers down. So how do you think that's going to make his grade? We'll have to wait and see. So the new Super Deluxe Cody was getting complicated. He was from Alaska. He had lived in an igloo. His father was an FBI agent. His mother drove a Jag, a red Jag. His pet was a shy emu. He had won trophies roller skating. And he was super smart. Super, super smart. Cody suddenly wished that those things were all true. At his old school, he was smart. He made good grades. He didn't have to skate. And here, everything was different. Being the new Cody was hard. He thought about their little engine climbing up the mountain. The happy face on the engine had always irritated him. And then he imagined a large bomb dropping from the sky and blowing up the little engine. So he's referring to the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. It's another book. Okay. Instead of the little engine that could, Cody had become the little dork that couldn't. And that's the end of chapter 2. So, what do you think is going to happen in chapter 3?